Good morning once again, and welcome to Meet Business Link, free support for Alberta entrepreneurs, plus our live Q&A session. My name is Linda Posada, and I'm the event specialist here at Business Link. And we're just really happy to have you here today as part of our Small Business Week 2025 celebration, which is a week dedicated to recognizing the passion, resilience, and innovation of Alberta's entrepreneurs. Sorry if you can hear the noise in the background. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping notes. This session will run for about an hour, and there will also be time for the dedicated live Q&A. So please just make sure that you're dropping your questions in the Q&A feature so that they don't get missed in the chat. And yes, the session is being recorded, and we will share the link with you afterwards so that you can rewatch it or share it with your networks. And now, I am joined by two of our amazing business strategists, Cindy Castro and Yoshio Oishi, who will walk you through who we are, what we do, and how we can support you on your business journey. So before we jump in, I will hand it over to Cindy to start us off with our land acknowledgement.
Awesome. Thanks, Linda. And good morning to everyone. And thank you so much for joining. So great to be here with everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional territories we live and work on. Business Link acknowledges and respects that we are on traditional land, meeting grounds, territories, gathering places, and traveling routes of Treaty 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the lands of those who had come before us, reside here, now, and in the future. On to Yoshio.
Thank you so much for the land acknowledgement, Cindy. So now let's dive in and tell you a little bit about who we are at Business Link and how we can support you in your entrepreneurial journey. So at Business Link, everything we do comes back to one simple purpose: helping Alberta businesses start and succeed. We're a nonprofit organization that's been supporting entrepreneurs since 1996, connecting them with trusted resources, partners, and programs. Our vision at Business Link is that Alberta is the best place to start a small business, and we're here to make sure entrepreneurs have the guidance and support they need to thrive. We're proud to have supported Alberta immigrant and Indigenous entrepreneurs for nearly 3 decades, helping them navigate the challenges and turn ideas into reality.
Business Link, we help entrepreneurs at every stage. So whether you're exploring a brand new idea, launching your first business, or scaling your operations. So our services fall into 3 main categories, one being business advice. This is our one-on-one guidance, business coaching, and resource. Business support, so this includes our market research, business plan reviews, and access to programs and tools. And then through our business education. So this is through webinars, workshops, downloadable guides, and community events designed to help you grow your business with confidence.
So our client service team is the heart of Business Link. We work directly with entrepreneurs to clarify business ideas and structure, explore funding and grants, and connect you with the mentors, programs, and resources that align with your goals. Best of all, everything we do is completely free. Our goal is to make business guidance accessible to every Albertan entrepreneur.
So one of our most valuable offerings is our market research service. Entrepreneurs can access 5 of the largest consumer and industry databases in North America, with guidance, of course, from one of our market research specialists. So they can help you identify your target audience, for example, understand competitors and explore trends so that you can make a more informed decision and spot new opportunities.
We also offer a digital marketing program where you'll work one-on-one with a business strategist or a digital strategist over 4 virtual sessions. Together, you'll create a 6-month growth plan, strengthen your SEO, improve your website, and optimize your Google profile and social media. It's perfect for entrepreneurs looking to grow their online presence and attract new customers. To be eligible for this program, you must have a registered business and a website.
Education is also a big part of what we do here at Business Link. So every week we host free live webinars covering a wide range of small business topics, all led by industry experts. From topics from funding and financing to marketing, digital tools, and startup basics. So these sessions feature our team and guest experts who share practical advice, and you can apply right away. And if you ever miss a live session, don't worry. All of our webinars are recorded and available on our Business Link YouTube channel, so you can catch up anytime that's convenient for you.
So beyond webinars, we also bring people together through community and networking events across Alberta. These events are a chance to connect directly with other entrepreneurs and business support organizations, learn from industry leaders, and build the relationships that help your business grow. Our in-person events, like the Small Business Week celebration happening in Edmonton and Calgary this week, Edmonton's on Tuesday and Calgary's on Thursday, are all about connecting, learning, and celebrating Alberta's entrepreneurial spirit. Whether virtual or in person, our goal is to help you build confidence, community, and new opportunities through every event.
For those looking for a more structured experience, we do offer two really great programs. One being the Peerpreneur program. So this is a free 4-week virtual cohort. This program is ideal for any established business owner where they have an opportunity to connect, network, stay motivated, and of course, work toward their business goals together. Then there's the Business Launch program, which helps you define your concept, explore financing options, and build a solid business model and plan. So this is designed to help you move from idea to action, and ideal for business owners who are in their pre-launch phase.
We also offer a variety of free online resources, including our interactive business plan builder, downloadable guides, recorded webinars, and blog posts. These are perfect for entrepreneurs who like to learn and plan at their own pace.
At Business Link, we're also proud to deliver outreach presentations across Alberta. So these are both virtual and in person. These sessions are offered through partnerships with libraries, community organizations, ecosystem partners, for example, and they're all about bringing small business knowledge directly to where entrepreneurs already are. Our goal is to make learning accessible, community-driven, especially for entrepreneurs who might not yet know where to start or who to reach out to. If your organization would ever like to host one of these sessions, we'd love to collaborate. The best way is to just connect with any one of our business strategists after the webinar.
And if you'd like to stay connected with us between events, make sure you sign up for our bi-weekly newsletter. It's a great way to stay updated on upcoming webinars and community events, read inspiring stories or success stories from Alberta entrepreneurs, get practical business tips, and discover new funding opportunities and partner programs across the province. It's one of the easiest ways to stay plugged in into Alberta's entrepreneurial ecosystem, and you can sign up for it through the QR code on the screen or at businesslink.ca.
Thank you so much, guys, for that presentation. Really do appreciate it. It's always so nice to see how much we can offer to Alberta entrepreneurs. I love how much support there is out there for, for entrepreneurs in Alberta. Like the support is just incredible. But now we're just gonna jump here into the Q&A section. So to everyone who's here in the session, if you haven't already, please pop your questions into the Q&A box and we'll answer as many as we can before we wrap up. And just please note that our strategists are unable to provide any financial or legal advice. So feel free to put all of those questions in the Q&A feature if you have any business questions. We already have one in the chat. It's not related to business, but it is related to the digital marketing program. So it's Panka is asking if the digital marketing program is free of cost.
Yeah, thanks so much for your question. Yes, our digital marketing program is free for you to access and to use, as is all of our programs and services. As a nonprofit organization, all of our programs or services are open for everyone to use at no cost. There are a couple of requirements for the digital marketing program, that you have a registered business, have a website, and are currently offering a product or service for sale. I hope that answers your question.
Awesome. And we have another one here from Valerie who says, who should we reach out to for the digital marketing program?
Yeah. So on our website, there's an intake form for the digital marketing program. There's just a few questions that are within the intake form itself. It helps get our team of digital strategists a better idea of where your business is at and what your business is about. So you can always sign up through there. And then once you've filled out the intake form, there should be the opportunity for you to book a meeting directly with one of our digital marketing strategists.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And then we have a question from Davis here who says, how to book a one-to-one meeting?
Yeah, the best way is to go to our website, businesslink.ca, click on services, then business advice. There you should see a book now button. You have the option to either book over the phone, online via Teams, or in person if you're in Edmonton, Calgary, or now in Grand Prairie.
Perfect. Thank you for that. We have another question here in the chat that says, will we get this presentation? Yes, this presentation is being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel. So just stay tuned for the link with the recording after the webinar ends. Thank you for that. And then we do have a few more questions in the Q&A feature here. So how do I sign up for the digital marketing program?
And I think we answered, but just as a reminder, it's through the through our website. Through our website, businesslink.ca. You go to services, go down to digital marketing program, and there you'll see get started today button. That's the best way to apply.
Thank you for that. We have a question here from Reynaldo who says, as a solopreneur process improvement consultant, what do you think are the most important keys to success when finding clients via a website, LinkedIn, or in person?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking it. One thing I'll quickly note is that we have dropped the link to the digital marketing program intake form on the website in the chat here. So if you are looking for how to book it, it's now in the chat feature. But to answer your question, Reynaldo, one thing that I've seen that's been kind of successful in terms of helping you find clients, whether it's in person on a website or LinkedIn, there's a few kind of key things involved. One is to really in your online presence, really understand who you're trying to talk to. So put yourself back in the shoes of being a consumer or a potential client to your business, and really think about, what would I be looking for when I'm looking for these services online? And how can I highlight that I am the best fit for the problem that somebody has at hand? When it comes to in-person events, one of the biggest things that I've seen as a success and feedback that I've heard from fellow entrepreneurs is that oftentimes at networking events, a lot of people are looking only to sell themselves rather than hear about what other people have or are doing in their day-to-day lives, or don't really try and make those personal connections. So as somebody who grew up in Alberta, I've seen that it's been Alberta itself can kind of feel like a big small town. And so making those strong relationships in person, getting to know people, maybe even on a personal level, can be a great way to really not only nurture a lead, but also hopefully make them longstanding customers to your consulting business. I don't know, Cindy, if you have any other feedback that you'd like to provide, but those would be a few tips that I could provide.
Yeah, no, I think you described it perfectly.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Yoshio, for that. All right, this question is done. And then we have a question from Neil here, who's asking about our Small Business Week session. So is there an agenda for the Small Business Week sessions in Calgary and Edmonton? Eventbrite has the tickets, but cannot find the link for the details. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I will add the agenda to the Eventbrite today. It just seems that we're having some trouble with Eventbrite because it is currently down as some other platforms like Canva, but we will update those, and you will also be receiving an email the day before the event, so one today and one on Wednesday, with all of the details for the event as well as the agenda. But I am going to drop the agenda here in the chat for our Small Business Week events. So the event goes from 4 p.m. to 7:30 or 8, depending on how long people want to stay. But the main programming for the evening will start at around 5 p.m. for the panel discussion and our welcome remarks and all of these things. So I just dropped the agenda in the chat for those of you who are interested in knowing about the official program. I hope to see you guys there for sure. Awesome. And then we have one more question here in the Q&A. It says, could you go over the Peerpreneur program again? I have a registered business website and I have been in business for a while, but changing my focus. Not sure if this is suitable for a program for me.
Yeah, thanks for your question. Peerpreneur program, just as a reminder, is a 4-week cohort. We gather a group of about 10 like-minded business owners who have been in business for about a year or more. If you are changing your focus, that's not a problem. The idea is that you've been in business, familiar with business, have questions either about a specific industry or business in general. So you do meet with other business owners and collaborate on ideas of what has worked, what doesn't work, what are some of the challenges. The incentive for it is entrepreneurship can be a little lonely. It can be a little bit isolating. So it's great to meet with other business owners and like I mentioned, network and chat about what works and what doesn't work. So if that sounds like a good fit, then you can feel free to apply. We do have a couple intakes a year. Our applications just closed for our November intake, if I'm not wrong. Our next intake should be next year around February. So the best way to stay up to date with any of our programs is to sign up for our newsletter. So that's sent out every couple of weeks. There you should get updates on if a program is open, if we're receiving intake or not. Yoshio, I don't know if I've missed anything.
No, I think that's a great recap of it. Or Cindy and I have both ran a few cohorts of Peerpreneur in the past here now, and it is always great to see all of the connections that entrepreneurs make. Oftentimes, and it's not a guarantee, but we see that the cohorts will want to stay in connection or form their own group after Peerpreneur is over. And ultimately, we just want to make sure that people, like Cindy said, understand that entrepreneurship isn't something that you just have to do by yourself, but there can be a community that helps you get you to where you want to go.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Alrighty. I do have a question of my own that I am interested in knowing about you guys. So would you be able to tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to become a Business Link business strategist?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, such a thoughtful question. I'm a previous business owner, so I've been in business for quite a few years, going from one business to the next. And the biggest thing that I've learned from just being a business owner is being adaptable and pivoting and being flexible and learning from your business. I think a lot about growth in business in general is failing quicker and recovering from that quicker and, moving towards profitability as quickly as possible. So, yeah, that's what got me interested in entrepreneurship. It is a little bit of a personality as well. Can you adapt quickly? Are you resilient to risk and failures? And always a learning phase. You're always in the learning phase. So if you're naturally a curious person, it might be a little bit easier. Not saying it won't be easy if you're not adaptable, but yeah, it should be a passion. Yeah. I hope I answered your question. Yeah.
Wonderful answer. Thank you for that, Cindy. Love learning more about you guys. What about you, Yoshio?
I guess it comes down to kind of my career journey and just my own personal interests. So early on in my career, I was supporting small business owners, and I was kind of seeing firsthand some of the challenges that they were running into, from it being maybe mom and pop store that somebody is starting as a side hustle, or I guess a side hustle to a mom and pop store to one that's potentially getting larger contracts or opportunities that way. It seemed like most entrepreneurs were always running into similar challenges. And although at the time I was focusing in assisting them from maybe a marketing lens, I've always been passionate about supporting entrepreneurs, especially those that I align with in terms of what they're trying to bring to the market. And working as a business strategist kind of felt like that perfect next step to continue supporting entrepreneurs across Western Canada and specifically in Alberta.
Definitely. Awesome. Yeah, it's always so amazing to see the variety of businesses that there are here in Alberta. Um, like I said earlier, it's just so amazing to see the amount of support that we get, not just from BusinessLink, but from all of our partners out there, from ATB, Futurepreneur, EMA, right? Like, and everyone is just so willing to help. And for those of you who don't know, we are hosting in-person events this week for Small Business Week. Small Business Week is a week in Canada where we celebrate small businesses here in Alberta and throughout the nation. And the purpose of these events are just to connect people and inspire people to start their own businesses, because we believe that Alberta is definitely the best place to start a business. So if you haven't checked them out already, I do welcome you to visit our BusinessLink/events page to check out the full details for our in-person events happening tomorrow here in Edmonton and on Thursday in Calgary. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you all there. But we now have more questions in the Q&A feature, so let's get back to those. But before we continue, I do want to reiterate that our business strategists cannot provide any financial or legal advice. If you do have any questions that require some more in-depth support, I do highly suggest that you guys reach out to our business strategist using the contact link or scanning the QR code on the screen, just so that business link strategists can support you one-on-one and talk to you about your business goals and your business plan, etc. Awesome. And in terms of questions that we have here, Wes Price says, as a new solopreneur who hasn't gotten much further than drafting a rough business model canvas, which of your services or programs should I start with? And is there a bit of a path or journey I should take with your suite of services and programs? This is a really good question.
Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, a really great starting point for any pre-launch business would be our business launch program. It'll take you through a series of 3 guided sessions. The first one being idea validation, second being financial feasibility, and third session is where we build a business model canvas together. Really great starting point for testing your business concept, and we'll share with you a few resources on how to make a more informed decision, like using secondary market research, introducing the concept of primary market research as well. So in my opinion, that would be the best starting point. And then going from there into other programs if relevant. Yoshi, anything to add?
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. The business launch program is usually the best starting point when you're kind of in that pre-launch phase. One of the things that we do cover in it is actually a business model canvas. So, if you have a rough draft of one that you're working on, again, we're happy for you to bring that to a business launch program session, see what progress you've made, and then can we work with you to potentially refine it or uncover any other opportunities that you may have missed when you're working through that canvas itself.
So, yeah, and your journey definitely doesn't have to end there. I'm not a business strategist, but I am definitely interested in business, and I love working with BusinessLink. So I think that after your business launch program, let's say you have launched a business, it doesn't have to end there. You can continue with the peerpreneur sessions, and after that, if you have started your website, you can check out the digital marketing program to talk to our digital marketing strategist and see how you can improve your website, etc. And again, it doesn't end there. You can also check out the resources that we put out on a monthly basis, as well as the business blogs that we put out from our marketing specialist and all of our business strategists who have amazing insights. And then, of course, our educational webinars that we do on a weekly basis on financing, marketing, business basics like registering your business or HR, hiring your first employee, etc. And of course, continue to engage with us through our social media, our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and our in-person events. So yeah, your journey with Business Link does not have to end with just one program. You can continue to stay in touch with us and continue to expand your business and your network with our services and yeah, our social media as well. So thank you for that question. I have one more follow-up question here from Reynaldo. He says, on my previous question and in your answer, what are the best lessons learned with respect to website marketing and the hero and homepage key information to invite prospective clients to reach out? This is a really good marketing question.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic one. I think one of the biggest maybe lessons learned when I was working with some other entrepreneurs on their websites is kind of related to the overlap between what is viewed as marketing and then what is viewed as sales. I like to always kind of use the analogy that if you had a friend that was only ever telling you about upcoming sales and 50% off deals that they had, you probably wouldn't be friends with them too long, versus if you had somebody who was providing value to you each and every time that you spoke with them, you're more likely to have a long-standing relationship with that person. And likewise, when it comes to a website, oftentimes it does translate there as well. So while it can be great to have something like pop-ups or key information around any kind of value related to price or promotion, oftentimes one of the best things to keep in mind when you're creating content for your website is just what is the value, the takeaway value for your end client. Something as simple as having a blog page around some frequently asked questions or some emerging topics can be a great way to attract people to your client or to your website, and for them to see value with your website beyond just the services that your business offers. One of the other things that can maybe incentivize people to reach out is through a newsletter as well, or having an email marketing campaign. One of the things that I would look into with that is, likewise, through your email marketing, are you able to keep your audience engaged with upcoming news or anything that might be pertinent to them, whether it be through your business or not? I know that oftentimes people may be interested in new topics that are emerging in the industry if they've signed up for your newsletter. So while it doesn't always have to be selling your own business, your hope is that you're providing value to clients that would make them want to utilize your services over somebody else because you've been a trusted resource along the way. Those would be kind of my lessons learned. Cindy, do you have any lessons learned related to your homepage, website marketing, and attracting clients in that sense?
Yeah, I did actually. One of the biggest lessons I learned was always discovering and further narrowing our target audience. You know, at the beginning of when we set up our business, we had one target audience in mind, and we built our entire business model and website targeting that target audience. After using some data analytics, answering some questions on our consent form, and doing some primary market research, by doing some surveys, we found out our target audience had changed. So that drastically changed how our website looked, how our hero page looked, how we communicated with our clients. So sometimes even taking a closer, in-depth look at who your target audience is, how you're addressing them, and of course, capitalizing on your data analytics. So your website offers quite a bit of insights, or wherever you're reaching out to your clients. Those platforms usually have an insights page or analytics page. So I hope that answers.
Definitely. Great lessons, guys. Thank you. Awesome. Then we have a question here from Sherry, who says, because of Eventbrite's failure, I missed the first 30 minutes. During which she kept trying to get in. Sherry, do not worry. The session is being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel. So just stay tuned for the email with the link to the session on our YouTube channel. And we are also thinking of doing this session a quarterly session so that everyone can stay up to date on the services and programs that we have, or if we're going to be launching anything new. So just stay tuned for that. Right now, we're in the Q&A session of this webinar. So if you have any business questions, any questions that are pressing to you, please feel free to drop those in the Q&A feature, and our business strategists here today will be answering those for you. Awesome. And then we do have a question here from Mohammed in the chat. How can I get assigned a one-to-one business coach? Is this possible? Is this something we do?
Well, the best, the next best thing is to book with any one of our business strategists. So my suggestion would be to go to our business link page, click on services, business advice, and in that case, you could talk to a business strategist. There are some mentorship opportunities throughout Alberta. If you meet with any of our business strategists, we could point you to the right places, to the right organizations or platforms that you might be best interested in or might be most interested in. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. Yoshio, anything to add on that?
I think my biggest suggestion would be, while you can always go through the booking link found on the contact page, you also will have a bio of all of our business strategists on our About Us page. Under each bio, there's also a booking link so that you can meet directly with, or you can book directly with that business strategist. So if you are looking for somebody who has a specific background or related experience in a field that you're looking to get into, that's one way to maybe figure out who might be the best fit. But our full team of strategists are always happy to help. And like Cindy said, if you are looking for maybe more in-depth support, say from a mentor, we do also are happy to provide what those opportunities are across the province of Alberta.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. We have another question here from Mohammed, who says, is there any opportunity of doing a partnership with an already established entrepreneur? That's a good question. We are currently, I would say, doing partnerships with industry speakers or industry experts who would be able to share their knowledge on topics like financing, registration, marketing, etc., for our workshops and webinars. So if you are an expert on any of these topics, or if you know anyone who could present on any of these topics, I do kindly welcome you to apply on our new page on the Business Link website to speak with us, to speak at our webinars, programs, or workshops, or in-person events. So yeah, that would be that. Any other questions? I see that we have 50 people in the session. Does anybody have any business questions that they would like to have answered today? For me, I would say I have a question that I haven't really gotten around to, but yeah, I think today is the opportunity for me to do it. So what advice would you give to someone who has a great business idea but doesn't know where to start?
That's a great question. It's very opinion-based. I might have a different way of starting a business than Yoshio does. Also, different industries require different starting points, but I think the best way to kind of start, aside from going through a business launch program, in terms of getting kind of a little bit more of a structured pathway, is to start with a business plan. The business plan will answer a lot of those beginning questions for you. Maybe even answer some questions that you didn't know to ask in advance. So what is your marketing plan like? What business structure are you going to set up? What permits or licenses do you need? So a lot of things that you might not have already thought of. A great place to start as well is what is your experience behind your business idea? What is the market size like? Is there a demand for it? Is there a need for it? Before getting into all of the actionable steps, before you go and register the business, I would make sure all of those questions are answered before you start spending money on it. We do also have a checklist, business startup checklist on our website. Really great kind of starting point as well in terms of all of the steps you would need in order to start or launch your business. But that would be my recommendation. Yoshi, anything to add?
Yeah, like Cindy said, it's kind of opinion based. I know one of the best starting points that I've found is if you are passionate about something, maybe following your passion can be a great starting point. But if you know that entrepreneurship is something that you want to do, but you don't know how you want to enter it or what you are passionate about, a great way to think about it is actually through kind of the negative lens of what do I absolutely not want to do. So coming up with a list of things that you know that you wouldn't enjoy or that you wouldn't be good at. For myself personally, I know that I am an adequate cook, but I'm probably not a restaurant grade cook. So starting a restaurant probably isn't in my future, and that would be added to my list of things that maybe I would leave for another entrepreneur to do versus myself. So that can be a great starting point. As Cindy said, I think a business plan can be a great kind of starting point as well, or even just seeing if you can find anybody, any success stories or anybody talking about what their journey was in an industry that you might want to break into, so that you can hopefully get somewhat of a picture of what that looked like, what were those early stages, and go from there. And Linda, I do see that there are some questions above as well from Corinne, Ishka, and uh, Valerie that we could potentially get to as well in the webinar chat.
Yeah, sounds great. Before we move forward, I have one quick question. What if I don't even have a business plan? Would you guys be able to help me write a business plan, or do I have to have one ready before I come to you?
No, yeah, you can. We do have an interactive business plan builder on the Business Link website. I think that's a great starting point if you don't already have a business plan. I'm a big fan of it. It's online, so you can start it, pause it, finish it all online, so you don't need to download and save it anywhere. Every section has a description and an example of what that section and should look and sound like. A great starting point. Or you can come to us with an already built business plan. You don't have to follow our template. You could just send it to any one of our strategists. And that is one of the services that we also offer, is we can review it for you, send it back to you with any suggestions, opinions, or constructive criticism if you're open to it. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for that. I think I missed the questions that you had just mentioned. Yoshio, do you see them in the chat? Is it the one from Ishika that says, sorry, I missed, when is the program, the digital marketing program? I think that is the question.
Yeah, so we can start with that. So I think it's good to clarify in terms of the timeline of when we're providing our programming. So the business launch program and the digital marketing program currently have ongoing intake. So there isn't really a timeline as to when you can apply for them and access them. I think Cindy touched upon it a bit earlier, just that Purepreneur runs once quarterly. So there is a quarterly intake for that one. But oftentimes the best way to figure it out is on each of the dedicated web pages on our website. It'll either let you apply for it right immediately, and otherwise, if not, it will highlight when the next opportunity to apply will be.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Is there any other questions in the chat that I may have missed?
I can ask one to Cindy. So there's a couple here about I believe it's our secondary market research service. So they're wanting to access some maybe consumer information, so demographics, household spending, as well as competitor lists. How would they go about accessing this kind of information through Business Link?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. So you could either go to our website, businesslink.ca, go to services. There's like a drop down arrow. You could click on it. There you'll see all of our services, but in there you'll click on market research and then contact us. So that's one way. Someone might reach out either from the market research team or one of our business strategists to ask you more questions. Essentially, how to work, you would click on the contact us button, you would receive an email with more information on doing primary market research, some information on secondary market research, along with an intake form. So you would fill out the intake form. A couple of things to look out for. You do need to know some information about your industry, need to know who your competitors are, and of course, come to the meeting with specific questions. So it's easier for the market research team to find you the specific information you're looking for, as opposed to just giving you overall general information. So that's one way you could access our market research services. The other way is to book in with any one of our business strategists, and they'll send along you the link as well for the intake form. So a couple ways you can do that. I don't know if I missed anything, Yoshu.
No, I think that's perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
And in terms of market research, guys, let's say I just started my business and I want to know more about market research, but I have no idea where to start. But I see here in the website that you offer primary market research and also secondary market research. So what are the difference between those two, and like what should I get started with?
Yeah, I can take that one, Cindy. So at BusinessLink, we're happy to offer free secondary market research as well as some support around primary market research. While we won't perform, say, primary market research on your behalf, we do have a team of strategists that are happy to kind of point you in the right direction and show you what your options are for the primary market research side. For those of you in attendance that aren't aware of the differences between primary and secondary market research, primary market research is research that you perform yourself. So it's firsthand research. Oftentimes it may respond to very situation-specific questions of, say, I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm an entrepreneur in Calgary looking to offer two different kind of food services. Maybe it's Italian food and Japanese food. Primary market research may provide you with insights into why would a consumer in Calgary purchase sushi over tortellini, let's say, in this very odd example. And secondary market research, on the other hand, is research that's already been performed in the past. So it's usually through databases, universities, industry associations will put together some market research, and you're able, through secondary market research, to gather this information and make some more informed decisions through it. For those of you who are maybe thinking of getting started in your market research or getting a better understanding of what market research is for your business, our free secondary market research service can be a great starting point. Secondary market research provides kind of a macro level picture of market research, and through that you may be able to uncover some of those very situation specific questions that you would want to have answered through primary market research. Cindy, is there anything that I missed in that long-winded answer?
No, I think you touched on it all. Like you mentioned, we don't do the primary market research for you, but I think there is a lot of online resources and information on how to do primary market research. So sometimes they're just as simple as asking family and friends questions, asking potential customers certain questions, looking at online surveys or doing your own survey. Sometimes even going to your competitors' businesses, seeing what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, doing a bit of competitor analysis. That way, and gathering as much information about the industry as possible, just from a first-hand account. So I think that is so valuable. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I remember being so confused between primary and secondary market research, but Yoshio actually presented a webinar for us just a few months back on leveraging AI in this AI era for market research. And so you can check that out on our YouTube channel if you're interested. And then we have two more things here in the Q&A feature. One is a question and one is a shout out from Sophia, who says, I want to share a testimonial for Yoshio. He's very keen listener and very calm solution provider. Enjoyed working with you. Thanks. So bravo to Yoshio.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
And then we have another question. When does your newsletter come out? Weekly, monthly? I signed up, but I have not received anything yet. If you have not received anything yet, it's okay. Don't worry. Our next newsletter will be coming out next week. Our newsletter comes out on a bi-weekly basis. So yeah, sign up for a newsletter. Like I said, like we have said, sorry, it is the best way to stay up to date on our upcoming programs, blogs, webinars, and events, and even partner initiatives. We have a section on our newsletter called Partner Initiatives or Community Calendar, where we basically add any events or webinars that are going on in the ecosystem. So that is that. I have a question here from Catherine who says, are there examples of primary market research, of primary research surveys for small businesses somewhere I can access?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this website. It's called surveymonkey.com. It does have a lot of information on primary market research survey questions, examples as well. I think they can facilitate it as well through their platform. A lot of great information just in terms of what type of questions to ask, how to stagger your questions. Should they be open-ended, closed, numerical, etc. BDC.ca also has some information on how to conduct market research for small businesses. BDC in general has a lot of great information on their website in terms of small businesses and support and resources. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yoshio, for those two platforms in terms of getting examples and more information.
Yeah, I also love SurveyMonkey. Big user, been in the past. I know that they recently launched an AI tool to also help potentially build a survey with you. I don't know if it's free or paid, but if it is paid and you're looking for a free alternative, utilizing a tool like ChatGPT, asking it questions in terms of, hey, I'm looking to open a business in this area or this industry. What are questions that you would want to have answered through primary market research, see what it provides you with, and then ask it to maybe build a survey. From there can always be a great way of also attacking it. Ultimately, like with anything that leverages artificial intelligence, you should be the ultimate decision maker. So always checking in, seeing if these questions are actually relevant or are actually what you would want to have answers to, can be a great way of finding an example and building out a survey that works for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. We have another question from Reynaldo. This one is a little bit lengthy here, so it's just going to take me a minute to read it. But it says, thank you so much for all your valuable insights today. You're very welcome. Further to the networking angle, I'm thinking the target market who would face challenges I can solve would be managers or directors, possibly VPs of medium to large companies working in either project management, supply chain, finance, or IT in the oil and gas industry. What would be the best approach to connect more to that audience through existing LinkedIn contacts, groups, posts, or engagement?
Cindy, do you want to take this one?
Sure, I can take it.
That's a great question. So one of the biggest kind of takeaways, and there's going to be some experimenting kind of involved with it to figure out what the best fit is. I can say from personal experience, LinkedIn outreach can become not stale, but it can be difficult to maybe leverage in a positive manner because as somebody who uses LinkedIn on a personal level, the level of outreach that you get from different individuals or organizations, it may be difficult to sort through the noise of what is a relevant kind of reach out versus what would I deem as maybe spam or not worth the follow-up on. And so that's where, if you were to leverage a LinkedIn or any kind of online platform, um, I always suggest think about personalizing and doing a bit of digging before you do some reach out or outreach, in terms of what would you expect their perceived problems to be? How are you a solution to those problems? Um, just showcase that this isn't a generic outreach that you're doing, and it's something that you have put time into to maybe engage with your target audience. If you are looking for to connect with PM, supply chain, finance, or finance, IT, or O&G as an industry, oftentimes it could be great to, even if you are in an area where there are in-person networking events, meeting people where they are at so that they can put a face to the name, and then ultimately using those connections and leveraging them through LinkedIn to follow up on. That can be a great approach as well, to make sure that you are not just another name on a platform, but one that people know who they are and can build trust and relationship with, if that's what you're looking to do. Cindy, any other feedback on that?
Yeah, I think you put it best, meeting them where they're at. I think in terms of these industries specifically, because like you mentioned, there's so much noise online, there's so much, especially growing competition online. Um, you might look at a multi-channel approach. So yes, you can do LinkedIn, you can do email, you can do your website, along with a little bit personalization. So that can come with trying to schedule an in-person meeting, trying to get them on the phone, um, being as recognizable as possible, offering a solution to their problem. Case studies work quite a bit, gathering a portfolio and showing them, this other person or your competitor has also worked. What I have seen that works well, like I mentioned in these type of industries, is forums, conferences, trade shows. A lot of it just goes through networking and who you know, and building up those networking contacts together. And referral goes a very long way. Word of mouth also goes a very long way. And I will say, especially in the oil and gas industry, almost everything is done exclusively in person. So leveraging those multi-channels along with trying to meet people through traditional networking channels might work best in this situation. I hope that helps.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for your insights. We have just 7 more minutes here to go in the session. So if anybody has any more questions they would like to ask here, feel free to put those in either the chat or the Q&A feature. No worries at all. I do have a question that does come up a lot, actually, during our webinars. Do we offer any funding or grant programs at BusinessLink?
We don't specifically offer any funding or grant opportunities, but my suggestion to find any opportunities available, especially opportunities relevant to your business and industry, is to meet with any one of our specialists, business strategists, sorry, and we can discuss different funding options for you. There are so many to name, but I don't want to give out any wrong or not relevant or not up-to-date information. But again, depends on your financial projections, depending on your cash flows. Some people, even after they complete a cash flow break-even analysis, they find out they don't need as much of a loan or as much of a startup grant as they thought they would need. Or we can figure out ways of reducing your costs or maybe scaling your business, starting smaller. So that's always my suggestions. Yeah, for funding or grant opportunities, Yoshi.
Yeah, no, great question. As Cindy mentioned, yeah, right now we don't offer any grant or funding opportunities. But as Cindy said, we always try our best to paint at least what the options are that are available to you, so that you can explore them and make sure that you are kind of setting up yourself for success in the long run. And ultimately, like Cindy mentioned, if you are able to start the business for a lower amount, and in that sense, maybe that is an opportunity that's uncovered by meeting through one of our business strategists.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. And now that we're talking about grants and funding, I do have another question around that. How can entrepreneurs prepare to apply for grants or loans? Like, what should they have ready for those?
Yeah, I can start with this one. It really depends on the various funding organizations. One of the must-haves or kind of assets that you would want to have before you go to try and acquire a loan would be a business plan. Your business plan is kind of a nice entry point into those conversations. So having a business plan that's written can be a great tool for you to leverage and ultimately as a starting point that you would need. Like Cindy mentioned, we do offer a free review of them and provide you feedback on if anything's missing or if there's other areas that we may want to improve upon to really highlight the impact of your business plan and your business idea as a whole. When it comes to grant opportunities on the funding side, I like to highlight that oftentimes grants, each one of them has their own kind of guidelines and deliverables for each one. So exploring what grant opportunities are out there. Each grant program generally has a contact email for you to get in touch with if you want more information. So that's always a great one. But realistically, I view most grant applications as kind of a job application. You want to tailor it to that specific grant so that you can showcase that you're either going to be in line with the impact that they're trying to make, or that you do meet the requirements, should there be requirements to access the grant. Cindy, any thoughts and feedback on that as well?
Yeah, no, that's a great starting point. What I have seen a few business owners do, especially if they're banking on getting those grants, is they'll work backwards. They'll look at what the grant requires, what their outcomes are, what their goals are, and they'll tailor their business around that. Especially if their goal is to rely solely on those grants. So that's another way of attacking that as well, if that's your ultimate goal. Again, it depends on your goal, but definitely the business plan builder is kind of the great first way. And then looking at those grant applications and what those requirements are. Sometimes you do need to be in business for at least a year. So that could be somewhere you would start really small or smaller than you would be in business for a year. Test the business idea, test the business concept, and then get into applying for those grants or loans a year after you start. So yeah, that's how I would tackle that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. We have 2 minutes left here and we have 2 questions. So let's dedicate a minute to each question and then we will wrap up for today's webinar. We have a question here in the Q&A. Would it be a good idea to write a business plan with help of AI like Grok or ChatGPT? Would investors or grant providers appreciate it or would think it as a negative approach?
I'll let Yoshio take this one actually, because he just did the presentation on AI market research. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it would be something that you want to have. I think AI can be a tool that you can leverage that is a nice complement to writing a business plan. I wouldn't view it as something that you would want to write the entirety of your plan. Whether it's a positive or a negative, I think it would be something that it would depend on what the business plan looks like at the end of the day. One of the things that we do see when a business plan is written fully by AI is that it may lack that human input that people are looking for, right? And at the end of the day, if you're applying or utilizing a business plan to apply for funding, you want to make sure that you yourself understand what's in the business plan, are able to fully communicate what's in the business plan itself. And whereas if you are to leverage AI or ChatGPT fully, or an AI like ChatGPT fully to write your business plan, you may not be an expert in what's in the plan itself. So while it can be a great complement, I would suggest that you still have human input and are at the end of the day the decision maker in what's in the business plan itself.
Perfect. Thank you, Yosha, for that. Actually, we did present a webinar just a few months back also on writing a business plan in the age of AI. You can catch the recording on our YouTube channel. I'll just put it there in the chat for those of you who are interested in on how to write a business plan. With the help of AI, like Yosha mentioned, it's not about having AI write the entirety of your business plan. It's about using it to complement for your business plan idea, right? So that is the link there if you guys want to check it out. And then for the one last question that we have is, does Business Link provide potential suggestions to starting a business?
Yeah, again, it's very opinion based, depends on who you ask. There are quite a few resources on our website. One of the latest blogs actually that was written on our Business Link website is what I wish I knew before starting a business in my 20s. And this was written by all of the strategists here at Business Links. A lot of tips, a lot of suggestions, a lot of opinions on things you should look out for before starting your business. It's a really fun one actually, and a lot of really insightful information. I would suggest booking in with a business strategist to go over those more actionable steps of starting a business, what to look out for, what ideas you have. Yoshi, I think you said it best when you said, what are the things you absolutely do not want to do? It also depends what stage are you at. Do you have already experience in a certain industry? Do you have an idea of where to start? So that would be my suggestion.
Perfect. Yoshio, anything to add before we wrap up?
No, I think Cindy said it perfectly. Yeah, booking a meeting with one of our strategists can always be a great starting point, and we're always happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's session. And a big thank you to both of you, of course, Cindy and Yoshi, for a very insightful presentation. We hope that this presentation gave you a clear look at how Business Link can support you, whether you're starting, growing, or reimagining your business. So visit businesslink.ca for all of our free services, resources, and upcoming webinars. And don't forget, this session is part of Small Business Week 2025. And if you can, join us for our in-person networking event in Edmonton tomorrow, October 21st, and Calgary, October 23rd, to connect with other entrepreneurs and celebrate small business success across Alberta. And please do not forget to watch for the recording link in your inbox. Complete the short pop-up survey at the end of this webinar. Your feedback really helps us improve these sessions. And we hope to see you at another Business Link webinar soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.